Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where we get to judge other people. Our first Reddit post is from Resident Occasion. Am I the butthole for firing an employee after his parents died? I'm the VP of sales at a software company, and one of our sales development reps' parents passed away at the beginning of April. Sadly, they were involved in a car crash and both lost their lives. Now, the employee in question is very young, a 22-year-old guy who has been with us for about 10 months now. He's a great employee, and we were thinking about promotions in the next 6 months for him. His job is a high-paying one for a new grad, about $90K with commissions and base, so we expect a lot from this position. Because of the accident, we let him take a 1-month paid leave of absence from work, and he's returned a few weeks ago, and his performance is severely lacking. He's super unmotivated, not cold calling, and he hasn't been reaching out enough to prospects for the last 2 to 3 weeks since he's come back. Our whole management team has noticed this, and we decided to let him go because we feel like he'd need months and months to be able to produce again, and we can't just wait that long. We called him into a meeting on Friday afternoon and gave him the bad news. He was very calm and rude about it. Told us to go F ourselves, and got up and went to his desk, grabbed a few things, and left. I thought this was very, very unprofessional and extremely rude. I told my boyfriend about all this, and he said myself and my management team are a bunch of buttholes and pricks with no hearts. So, am I the butthole? Let me hear your thoughts down in the comments because OP got destroyed in the comments of this thread. Update. Holy cow, this blew up. I know this was sucky of me now. And I reached out to him to see how he's holding up. He's staying at his girlfriend's place and she's supporting him a lot right now. I offered to get my headhunter friend in touch with him when he's ready and he accepted. OP, what happened to this guy is literally what happened to every single superhero ever. You basically gave this guy an origin story. This guy's gonna go off to become Fired Man, who goes around setting fire to butthole bosses like you who fire all their employees. Our next Reddit post is from Pause96. I'm the dad of a 25-year-old young woman who I love very much. I've been able to have a good relationship with my daughter, and I enjoy my time with her. But there's one thing about her that would give many people pause. She is a diagnosed sociopath. She exhibited odd, disturbing behavior at a young age. And after a serious incident of abuse towards her younger sister, I realized she needed professional help. Throughout her elementary years, she struggled heavily, getting in lots of trouble in school for lying, cruelty, and all other types of misbehaviors. With an enormous amount of therapy and support, her bad behavior was minimized as she grew older. She received an antisocial personality disorder diagnosis at 18, and I had suspected it for long prior. After her aggressive behavior was tamed, her following years were much more fruitful. She's law-abiding, has a decent job and a good education, and has many good friendships and admirers, especially male admirers. She is very, very charming and adept at attracting guys and maintaining their interest. She uses that old dating guide, The Rules, like a Bible. She currently has a boyfriend of about 1.5 years who's crazy about her, and who I have a very strong relationship with. We live in the same area and spend time together regularly. He is a great guy, very kind, funny, and intelligent. But I doubt she loves him. We've had some very honest, in-depth discussions about her mental health since her diagnosis, and she's been open with me that she doesn't feel love or empathy towards anyone, even family. When she acted very sad and broken up over the death of one of her closest friends at the funeral, she confessed to me privately that it was all a put-on, and that she felt pretty neutral about the whole thing. She's also stated that she has never once felt guilty about anything she's ever done, and doesn't know what guilt feels like. While she enjoys being around her boyfriend and is sexually attracted to him, I highly doubt she feels much of anything towards him love-wise. Her boyfriend, who might propose soon, has no idea about her diagnosis. And she's been very upfront with me that she has no plans to ever tell him, thinking it'll scare him away. I've made it clear to her that she needs to tell him the truth before they marry, that he has the right to know and consider it, or I will. To which she always responds, I know you wouldn't dare. I actually would. I really like and respect this young man and would feel awful keeping this secret from him and letting him walk into a marriage without this piece of knowledge. I'm not trying to sabotage my daughter's future. Maybe her boyfriend's love of her personality and other aspects is enough that it won't end the relationship. It's his decision to make, but he deserves all the facts. Someday, he's bound to find out she's a bit off. It can't be kept a secret forever. So, am I the butthole? Man, OP, this is the most ethically complicated Am I the Butthole post I've ever read. You kind of have a moral obligation to say something, and you kind of have a moral obligation to not say anything. So, I'm going to give you a middle of the road 3 out of 5 buttholes because honestly, you're screwed either way. Viewers, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Should he tell the guy or should he keep it a secret? One thing I know for certain is that if I were about to marry a diagnosed sociopath, I wish someone would tell me. Our next Reddit post is from My Dog Is My God Zero. I'm a 28-year-old male and my fiance is a 27-year-old female. We've been together for 4 years, engaged for 6 months. I also have a 7-year-old lab mix who is the second greatest dog in existence behind Hugo. On Saturday, my fiance had a bachelorette party at home. I stayed with my parents, but I left the dog with her because she likes having him there. However, I made sure to tell her to put the dog in our bedroom once the party gets going. 5 a.m. on Sunday, I get a frantic call that something's wrong with the dog. She was drunk. So I told her to get a taxi and go to the emergency vet clinic. When I got there, she looked like she hadn't stopped crying for hours and she couldn't even speak. 2 of her friends were there, so they told me my dog is alive, but not well. I felt sorry for her for an entire 10 minutes while waiting for the doctor. But then, the doctor told me my dog ingested large amounts of alcohol and chocolate edibles. The girls apparently thought it would be cool to leave everything out on short coffee tables, leave the dog to wander around instead of putting him in our bedroom, and then get wasted and not notice he was going to town with the booze and edibles. When we got home, I told my fiance to pack and get out of my house and my life. I told her to tell her guests the wedding is off, and I'll tell mine. She was shocked, but she took her things and left. 2 hours later, I get bombarded by messages on Messenger, WhatsApp, by her sisters, brother's wife, her mom, her friends, telling me that I'm insane to do this to her after 4 years. They started off defending her, but it quickly turned into insulting me. The logical thing for me to do was look for comfort in my friends and family. Nope. They all effing agree. My mom said, well, it was a mistake. She didn't do it on purpose. Besides, the dog didn't die. Lucky me, right? My dog didn't effing die. My sister was appalled that I canceled the wedding over that. And even my best man said I might have overreacted. Yes, our relationship has had ups and downs, but it mostly worked fine. But I am so disgusted at my fiance that I can't even imagine looking her in the eye, let alone spending my whole life with her. She isn't effing 17, she's 27. By the way, this isn't the first dumb thing she's done. She likes to text while driving. She always leaves stuff on the electric stove, like kitchen towels, the cutting board, etc. Even though she's turned on the wrong burner and burnt whatever was on it several times in the past. And similar dangerous things. It's not something I hold against her in the sense that I would ever mention it in a fight, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried that she might end up killing herself or someone else. For example, my dog. I'm 99% sure I'll stand by my decision, but am I really a butthole? Literally nobody is on my side, and I have no idea what to think. Look, OP, I'm gonna give you 2 out of 5 buttholes here. Because, let's be honest, you knew she's a negligent person. So, if you give an animal to a negligent person, and then that negligent person is negligent, well, that's kinda on you, isn't it? But on the other hand, you can't be forced to marry someone you don't want to marry. So if you decide not to marry someone for any reason, including no reason, well, that's up to you. No one else really has a say in it because deciding to marry someone is a deeply personal choice. That being said, I think it's kind of smart to cut and run. To be honest, if my partner was that clueless, I'd be constantly terrified if I ever had kids. Would she text and drive with the kid in the backseat? Would she leave things on the stove when the kid is taking a nap? I mean, that's really dangerous. Viewers, let me know what you think down in the comments. Is OP a butthole in this situation? Our next Reddit post is from PatientArtist. I was with my ex for 7 years. At the time, she had a 2-year-old, and when we split, her daughter was 9 years old. She called me dad pretty quickly, plus we all lived together. I thought we'd become a family proper through marriage eventually, but obviously things didn't pan out, and we split. It was amicable, and we're still friends. Her daughter is 14 now, and still calls me dad. My ex hasn't started dating again, but I'm engaged to my soon-to-be wife. We all get along, but my fiancé doesn't like that the kiddo calls me dad. I'm not her dad, biologically or otherwise. But I was a father figure for 7 years, and even beyond this, I still kept involved in her life. My fiancé wants me to put the kibosh on this because it makes her uncomfortable. We want to start a family of our own soon, and my fiancé wants my undivided attention on our child. I can see her point and where she's coming from, although I'm indifferent to the whole dad situation. If she calls me dad, whatever, and if she doesn't, then also whatever. I'm not her dad, but it's ultimately not up to me or my ex or my fiancé what she calls me. It's up to her. But I must relent to my fiancé's wishes because my family should be prioritized, right? I'm gonna have a sit down with my ex and her daughter and split ties to focus on my own family. But would I be a butthole? I'd still maintain contact because I'm very much still connected to my ex and her daughter. I just want the, quote, dad to stop to avoid friction with my eventual wife. OP, I'm sad to say that you're getting 5 out of 5 buttholes on this one. You divorce partners, you don't divorce kids. I mean, try to look at this through the eyes of that little girl. For all intents and purposes, you are her dad, and you have been for the last, 12, 14 years or whatever? If you tell her not to call you dad, that's basically you saying, listen kid, I don't care about the relationship that we've built for over a decade. The only reason why I let you call me dad is because I was nailing your mom. So see ya, because I'm gonna go have a real daughter now. Like, oh my god, are you trying to give this little girl attachment issues? Honestly, maybe you are better off saying this to this little girl. Because if you and your fiancé don't see a problem with this, then maybe she's better off without you. Our next Reddit post is from serenejohn. My ex and I split 5 years ago now. We have a daughter who's 16, a son who's 13, and a daughter who's 5. He's always been a good dad, and we split 50-50 custody. Essentially, the kids 1 week at my house, 1 week at his house. After my divorce, I reconnected with a high school boyfriend and fell head over heels in love again. He's in the military, but hadn't had to move in years. We married 2 years ago. A year ago, he got orders to move to Texas from where we all are in California. My older 2 kids were not happy at all and didn't want to move, while the baby didn't really express a preference. I approached my ex and told him the situation. I said, I know the situation sucks, but we'd foot the bill for every trip to him on holidays, breaks, summers, etc. He blew his top and said, absolutely not. I wouldn't take his kids away, and said he'd see me in court. The judge ended up ruling in his favor, and I was awarded summers and every other holiday. I was absolutely devastated. I moved, and I've barely seen the kids since. They came at Christmas for a week, and it was tense the whole time. The other kids, especially my daughter, are short with me on FaceTime, while the baby gets distracted and can't chat much. My daughter has said I chose a man over her, and that she wants nothing to do with me. While my son won't talk about it, but I can tell he's angry. I've asked my ex to talk about it, and he basically said I chose to leave. It's my fault and he's not getting involved in our issues. So let me have it, Reddit. Am I the butthole? Yes, absolutely yes. How do you not see it? Your daughter's right. You literally did choose a man over your children. How are they supposed to feel? You literally want to abandon your cake and eat it too. So look, lady, if you want to run off with your new boy toy, then that's your right, technically. But you can't expect your family to be thrilled that you left them just because you're really horny. So you're getting the full 5 out of 5 buttholes. Our next Reddit post is from chickentikkaontoast. My mom left my dad when I was 17. I'm 29 now, and had a new boyfriend literally straight away. We all suspected that she was cheating with this dude beforehand, but there was never any proof, and she even to this day refuses to admit it. She had 2 more kids with this guy. When my mom and dad broke up, I moved out to live with my dad, who had moved back in with his parents. The major reason for this was because my mom told me to leave as I kept fighting with her new dude. I really did not want to deal with a new guy in my mom's life, and I was really upset that she didn't give a flip about how much pain my dad was in. When she told me to leave, something in me changed, and I'm still unable to forgive her. This solidified because my 14-year-old sister stayed with my mom for a year, and then begged to come and live with my dad because she hated it so much at my mom's place. And my sister and mom were close, so for my sister to feel that way, it must have been bad. Since I was 18, my grandparents kept pushing me to start a business because I like to tinker, and I'd built a few specialized tools for a niche construction industry that my dad was in, and they saw potential in me. They gave me a lot of money as an investment. Actually, they remortgaged their house. That's how much they believed in me. And basically, I majorly lucked out and managed to land some national contracts at 24 that turned into more than a few millions of dollars over a few months when the business boomed. The profit trajectory has risen since then, and basically, I'm living a life I never thought I would be for a schmuck like me. I moved my dad, sister, and grandparents out to the East Coast a couple years back, and we've started a whole new life. I'm surrounded by people who see and saw the best in me, and I'm grateful so much because I was seriously messed up after my mom blew our family apart. For the last couple years or so, my mom has been on my case to reunite with her. She is getting increasingly more insistent that I go visit her and her boyfriend and kids, and keeps trying to guilt trip me because my sister has a much more privileged life now and my younger 2 half-siblings don't. She keeps telling me that even if I don't forgive her, I should look out for the kids as they're innocent in all this. Am I the butthole because day to day I have no interest in helping her or her family? In my opinion, she made her bed and she can lay in it. But the guilt eats me alive sometimes. I just can't forgive her though. You are absolutely not the butthole. You're too close to it to see it clearly, but from an outsider, it's really obvious what's going on. She doesn't want a relationship with you. She wants a relationship with your money. OP, go live your life and congratulations on your success. There's no reason why you should let that ungrateful leech back into your life. 0 out of 5 buttholes. That was rSlash AmITheButthole, and this is rSlash Puppy Bloopers. And remember, if you want to support Hugo, you can buy the official Hugo plushie in the link down in the description. But we'd foot the bill for every trip to him on holidays, breaks, summers, etc. Hugo, come on man, do I interrupt you while you're playing or eating or whatever it is you do all day? What do you got there, Pooch? Just a raccoon? Did you kill the raccoon? Oh no, it's death cries. Go get it. I said, I know the situation sucks, but we'd foot the bill to... Pooch. Come on, Poochums. Do you have to do that right now? Let me get to this vid, bud. Just let me get to this vid. Go get it. Dog, it's dead, man. You killed it like a month ago. It's dead. It's done. Dog. Dog. Gimme. Gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. God, you're strong for a puppy. Dog. I thought you were just done squeaking. Now you're back to barking? Yes? Do you need something? Oh, 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 oh. You're so cute. You're so cute. Oh my god. No, you can't have that. You can't have it. Dog. I said, I know the situation sucks, but we'd foot the bill for... Dog, I just started! I literally just started. I gave you like 30 minutes to settle down. And now you're back, begging for attention. Sometimes I really do think you do this on purpose, you know that? You're just jealous. You're like a jealous girlfriend. But you're a puppy.